Chat, who used to pirate? I know you did. Arg, matey. I know you was on piratebay.org. I used to watch all the new movies. I'd get those. The Walking Dead, I would pirate that. And I remember when you would download a song and it would just be like, Crank That by Soulja Boy. Well, I had LimeWire, Morpheus, I had all of it. Let's get off into this, man.
In 2020, piracy was declared dead. Streaming had won. Netflix was $8.99 a month. Everything was there. No torrents, no sketchy websites, no malware, just click and watch.
Bro, I used to tear up Pirate Bay.
Something impossible happened. Piracy websites' visits exploded to 216 billion, higher than before Netflix even existed. The companies that killed piracy brought it back from the dead, and they did it by betraying every single principle that made them successful. Now, 76% of young people pirate content while still paying for subscriptions. Modern piracy sites offer better interfaces than Netflix, and the industry is staring down $113 billion in losses by 2027.
Oh my God.
How did billion-dollar companies commit financial suicide this spectacularly? The story begins with a simple tweet. A Netflix subscription that cost $8.99 in 2019 now costs $15.49.
I will say I am sick of subscriptions only getting more and more expensive, dude. And then also, put a one in the chat if you agree. I'm sick of having to watch 5 different Paramount Plus, and you got Apple TV, and then you got HBO Max, and you got Netflix. Like, you have to have 5 or 6 different services just to watch the shows that you want. And then now football's even on, only on Amazon Prime, only on this. Yeah, $508 a year. That's a lot of money. Now, you got to look, because back in my day, everybody had Dish TV and Dish Network, and Dish Network was, like $300 a month. But this is the problem, is that all these shows are on different streaming services, so if you really want to watch them, you have to have everything. And that's what sucks.
You've watched a single episode. Imagine a family at their kitchen table, calculator out, trying to figure out how to afford entertainment for their kids. Dad scrolling through subscriptions.
Bro, so this is my hack for figuring out which subscriptions you have and, not knowing what to cancel them. Change your debit card and credit card about every 6 months. Update it. You'll get emails from people being like, hey, we can't, you push your payment through, and you'll be like, oh, didn't need that subscription. Didn't need that at all.
Promised to replace expensive cable TV became more expensive than cable TV. But raising prices was just the beginning. What Netflix did next crossed a line no company had ever crossed before. In 2017, Netflix proudly tweeted, "Love is sharing a password." By 2023, they were charging $6.99 extra for the same thing. The tweet went viral. Netflix looked cool, understanding, human. They got it.
Yeah, I hate the fact that they were like, nah, only one person per account now. Because a buddy of mine, he gave me his Paramount Plus or whatever, because you can have unlimited users on that. So I get to use their Paramount, and I can't remember, we traded some service. I think they get our HBO Max or something like that. But Netflix doing that is so wild to me.
In a single quarter. The first subscriber loss in the company's history. Panic set in. Stock prices collapsed. Investors demanded blood. What was Netflix's solution, you ask? The answer is they betrayed their own customers. They claimed 100 million households were stealing through password sharing. The same behavior they'd celebrated with heart emojis and retweets was suddenly theft. The crackdown launched in 2023. If you tried to log in from a different location, Netflix demanded proof you lived there. College students got locked out of their family accounts. Parents traveling for work couldn't access their own subscriptions. Want to share with your college-age kid? That'll be $6.99 extra per month. The grandmother...
And dude, I don't know about you guys. I'm sick of everything having a subscription. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Everything has a subscription. Everybody wants your email address. Everybody wants your phone number. Everybody has an app. It's the adpocalypse. Like, I get so sick of it, dude. Because I remember back in my day when you just, even with video games, you put a video game in and you start playing it. Now, you want to play a dadgum video game, you got to update your PS5. You got to update your Xbox One. Everything just takes longer. What happened to just throw it in there and watch it? Like, I miss those days, man. Like, I really do miss those days.
Trust, once shattered, doesn't easily repair. But destroying customer relationships was just the warm-up act. What HBO did next shocked even industry leaders. The company spent millions creating Westworld, won Emmy nominations for it. then deleted it from their own platform to avoid paying royalties.
Didn't finish it. Cool show.
Westworld cost HBO $10 million per episode.
God.
4 seasons, critical acclaim, awards buzz, a flagship series that defined the network's prestige brand. Then Warner Bros. Discovery deleted it. Gone. Vanished. Like it never existed. The reason? Avoiding residual payments to the cast and crew. HBO would rather erase their own masterpiece than pay the people who created it. But Westworld was just the beginning of the content apocalypse. In February 2025, HBO Max removed 80 shows in a single day. Subscribers woke up to find their watch lists gutted. Cartoon Network classics disappeared overnight too. Shows that defined childhoods deleted to cut costs.
Well, I don't know about you guys. I miss Adult Swim. Yeah, Ed, Edd and Eddie, Dexter's Lab, Johnny Bravo. This is when cartoons were good. Cartoons nowadays, maybe I'm just sounding like a freaking grandpa here, but I just think they're trash, dude. I just don't think they're as good as they used to be, man. I really don't. I'm not happy with I'm not happy with the quality of the cartoons now. It's just the kid cartoons especially are bad.
They disappeared mid-season. We continue to aggressively manage our cost base, Disney executives told investors. Translation.
And then like not going with the story, like the whole second season of The Last of Us was garbage, dog water, hogwash. They decided to go woke. I'm going to be a dad now. You're a straight woman. You ain't going to be a dad. And then like The Witcher switching Henry Cavill out with what's his name, Hemsworth, halfway through because they didn't want to follow the real storyline. Like stop chasing revenue, start chasing good stories. That was the whole point of movies.
Companies decided his son's entertainment was
and TV shows
worth less than their quarterly profit margins. This is the madness of content destruction. Companies spending millions to create shows, then spending more money to erase them. While streaming services deleted their own content and charged families for sharing, something interesting was happening in the darker corners of the internet. Modern piracy sites offer Netflix-like interfaces, instant streaming, no ads, and never remove content. Everything streaming services used to promise. Gone are the days of sketchy torrent sites loaded with malware and pop-ups.
uTorrent. I was using LimeWire, Morpheus, Pirate Bay. I was using all of them. In college especially, I couldn't afford to buy these movies.
Minimalist designs, sleek search.
I had a buddy that torrented so many movies, though, that he actually got like an email and something in the mail about torrenting stuff. Like he almost got in legal trouble because of it.
Click on any movie and it starts streaming instantly. No technical knowledge required, just like Netflix, but with every movie ever made. The search actually works.
And then, I'll be in here playing the game. There's a website called 9anime, and Cass will come in here, and they have everything, and it's free. You don't even have to log in.
No, this content is not available in your region nonsense. No VPN required. The content never disappears. That childhood cartoon HBO deleted, still there. The canceled series Netflix removed, available in full. Piracy sites became the internet's permanent library, while legal services turned into revolving doors. Here's what's even more amazing. Illegal sites offer better customer service than legal ones.
That's crazy.
Let's say you want to watch a specific movie. On Netflix search, not found. Check other apps, still not available. Maybe try Amazon Prime for $4.99 rental.
Yeah, you got to rent it or buy it.
Search, click, watch. In HD, for free, instantly. No subscription management, no password sharing restrictions, no surprise price increases, no content vanishing mid-season. The pirates kept every promise streaming services broke. While streaming executives focused on quarterly profits and password crackdowns, pirates focused on user experience. Guess which approach customers preferred? The result was the largest migration in internet history. There were 216.3 billion visits to piracy sites in 2024. That's more than the populations of every country on Earth combined.
That's wild.
If every piracy site visit was a person, it would be 27 times the population of the planet Earth.
Jeez.
The exodus from streaming to piracy happened much faster than anyone predicted, too. In 2020, piracy actually hit historic lows. Just 130 billion visits.
Yeah, what's your favorite piracy site? Isn't there one that's called like Jellyfin or something like that? I don't know if it's piracy, but I've heard it's like you can pretty much watch anything.
Had seemingly won the war. But by 2024, that number had exploded to 216 billion visits, a 66% increase in just 4 years.
That's insane.
Gen Z led the charge. 76% admit to pirating content while still paying for legitimate subscriptions. They're not abandoning streaming services completely. They're using both systems, legal and illegal, to get what they want. Half of all young people canceled at least one streaming service in the past 6 months. They are rebelling. Sweden provides a glimpse of the global scale. 25% of the entire population pirates content. In a developed, wealthy European country, 1 in 4 people has given up on legal streaming.
Wild. Isn't that where Pirate Bay's from, though? Sweden?
Piracy surge isn't limited to movies and TV either. Manga piracy alone grew 347% between 2019 and 2024. Every type of content, every demographic, every country. A whopping 24% of all internet traffic in North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific goes to piracy. That's more than some niche activity. That's a mainstream behavior.
Wow.
But here's what makes this migration different from the old Napster days.
Napster? Oh my god, Napster, bro.
Of modern piracy is streaming based, not downloads. People aren't hoarding content on hard drives. They're treating piracy sites like alternative Netflix platforms. Picture a world map lighting up in real time with piracy activity. Dots appearing every second. Millions per hour. A global visualization of customer dissatisfaction with an entire industry. The teenagers in Sweden, the college students in California, the families in Australia, all making the same decision independently. Streaming services failed us, so we'll find alternatives. Over 50% of Gen Z and millennials have already canceled at least one service in the last 6 months. That's a clear message, industry analysts noted. The message is simple. Betray your customers and they'll abandon you in the millions.
I mean, it makes sense.
27, making it the most expensive business mistake in entertainment history. That number is so large, it's almost impossible to comprehend. For context, $113 billion is more than the entire GDP of Morocco. It's enough money to fund NASA for 4 years.
God.
The United States alone loses between $29.2 billion and $71 billion annually to digital piracy. That's the economic output of entire states vanishing into the digital void. Disney's streaming division lost $387 million in just the fourth quarter of 2023. Not for the year, for 3 months. Warner Bros. Discovery posted a staggering $10 billion loss in the second quarter of 2024. This is real money, real jobs, real consequences. The piracy resurgence costs 70,000 American jobs every year.
Whoa. Sound
engineers, editors, writers, production assistants, entire careers erased because customers fled to illegal alternatives. Stock prices tell the story of investor panic. Disney shares dropped after subscriber losses. Warner Bros. Discovery became a cautionary tale of corporate mismanagement. Netflix's stock remains volatile as growth stagnates. Imagine the boardroom at Disney.
Bro, Netflix, their stock is all over the place, dude, because they keep putting up these woke shows and then all these woke liberal agendas in kids' cartoons, which is disgusting to me, that the fact that they're putting like the trans ideology and liberal woke ideology in like kids cartoons. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Like trying to brainwash the youth, and they're doing that because those people don't have children, so they're like, well, we got to brainwash your kids. Like, no, kids don't need to know about pronouns. Kids need to know their shapes and colors.
Countermeasures and best practices may see piracy begin to plateau by 2027. There is no consensus amongst stakeholders as to when it may begin to decline, admitted Steve Hawley, a Parks Associates analyst. Translation: the industry has no idea how to fix this mess. The Titanic comparison writes itself. Streaming executives, convinced of their own unsinkability, steered directly into the iceberg of customer rebellion. The damage is already done. The question now is how many companies survive the sinking? This is what happens when billion-dollar industries forget the most basic rule of business. The customer is always right. So what's the conclusion? Is streaming dead? Today, the industry scrambles with desperate damage control. Bundle deals that try to recreate cable packages.
Yeah, I don't think streaming is necessarily dead, because a lot of people don't know how to navigate the internet and how to navigate and get around the, legal ways to watch shows. For me, it's sometimes easier just to pay for the subscription and be like, you know what, cool, I got it. It's easy, nice, whatever. Getting on like Pirate Bay and then syncing it to your TV and doing all this stuff, like it's not as easy, I think, as a lot of people may think it is. It's a little more difficult to do that stuff, and especially if you're not tech savvy, then you really don't know how to do it. I saw this and was like, I gotta show you guys this too.
Resuscitated it. And to understand how we got here, we first need to go back to a dorm room in 1999, where a college kid with a clever idea was about to set the entire music industry on fire. Before Netflix, before Spotify, there was Napster. Created by Sean Fanning, it wasn't just a program. It was a revolution wrapped in a sketchy user interface. Napster worked on a simple principle.
That screen right there, oh my dude. The amount of things I've downloaded. Dude, the amount of times, let me take you guys back. Let's go back. The amount of times my mom had to have somebody come over to our family computer because I fried it because I was downloading corn, bro. Bad when I was a kid. Bad when I was a kid. I was a bad man. My mom would be like, why do we have all these Trojans? I'm like, Mom, I have no idea. And then the guy would come over to fix it, and he'd be like, hey, man, come in here. And he'd tell me, he's like, bro, you got to slow down. Like, he would tell me, he's like, bro, you need to slow down. It was bad. It was bad. But what did every 12 to 15-year-old kid do at that age? That's what we did. That's what we did. Dude, it was normal. It was so normalized back then. You go over to your buddy's house, he's got it on his computer. You go over to another buddy's house, he's got it on his, like, everybody had it on their big, chunky, clunky desktop computers with those screens with the straight booty on it. Like, remember, you had to keep the monitor away from the wall because it had a booty on it. It had a straight tuchus on it. Like, you had to keep that thing up. Just like the old TVs, they used to have a behind on them. And, bro, it just... those were the days when it was simpler to just be a man, you know? It was just easier. It was easier. But then, you know, you slowly grow out of it. But I knew guys in college, dude, that had straight like, dude, I got terabytes of stuff. And they would have these hard drives that dudes could pass around and be like, bro, no thanks, I'm not touching that hard drive. I already know somebody's little sticky fingers have probably been glued to that little thing. I am good. I am good. Thank you so much. It's really good to have you out, though. But golly, man, piracy, streaming. Like, I can't believe it used to be a point where it was so normalized, and then it kind of fell off, and then people weren't talking about it as much, and then now it seems like it's back, and it's crazy to me. And here's an anti-piracy ad from 2004. You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a handbag. You remember these, dude? You wouldn't steal a TV. You wouldn't steal a DVD. Downloading pirated films is theft. Y'all remember that? I remember that ad, bro. I remember that, dude. Oh my gosh. What a wild day. What a wild day it was. It really was the wild, wild west back in those days, man. You could just download anything. You could find something or Google something. You wouldn't even Google stuff. Dude, I remember when Ask Jeeves was a thing. You remember Ask Jeeves? I remember asking Jeeves a lot of things. But you would go and you would try to download something, and half the time when you tried, like, I remember trying to download some like 50 Cent, and it was just like Crank That by Soulja Boy. I was like, every time I try to download this is the only reason I knew about Soulja Boy is because I would try to download stuff, and it'd always just be him. I was like, bro, can I get past this Soulja Boy? But then I started to like Soulja Boy, and then before you know it, you're listening to Soulja Boy all the time. All right, let's switch gears. Psychiatrists were asked how many patients they've cured.
How many patients have you been able to cure so far?
I would say one.
How many people have I cured? Well, there are no real cures right now in psychiatry.
The idea of you asked me about the issue about how many people I've cured. I don't know that any of us are ever completely cured of anything.
I have not been able to cure many patients.
I have cured none of my patients.
At least some of them are being honest. This is why I say going to a psychiatrist, going to therapy, it needs to be 6 months to a year. I don't say this, chat, out of the side of my neck because I haven't thought about it. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. You shouldn't go to therapy for more than a year. Too many people in America right now think it's a cool personality trait to be like, me and my therapist, we're thick as thieves. It's not a good thing. That's actually a bad thing. You shouldn't be besties with your therapist because they're not curing you. They're confirming your delusion and making you even crazier than you actually are. These are actual therapists saying, I've not cured anybody. I've not cured anyone. I've cured nobody, which is truly sad, because you would think you would go to therapy and actually learn how to get over it. You would learn how to, maybe be a little bit better. But that's not the case. That's not the case. They don't want to heal you. They don't want to cure you. They don't want you to be cured. They don't want any of that. You know what they want? They want you to keep coming back. They want you to keep paying. They want you to keep paying, and they want you to never feel better, never be better. That's the problem. That is 100% the problem. And the fact that, we haven't realized this as a society yet is sad, because it keeps perpetuating all the bad things that are happening right now in society. It's just that, like, you need to keep going to therapy. You need to, keep being really close with your therapist. No, dude, that's not the case. All right, we haven't done any fat people eating. Let's do that. Okay, let's see here. What does she got here? What I eat in a day as a fat person? Let's see. Big bag. The pincushion face. This is off to a great start. All right, what is that? Some straight egg rolls? Spring roll for breakfast.
You really are a fat bastard.
Good Lord. Okay, and she's dancing with it. No sauce, no sweet and sour, or nothing. Okay, vegan wings. Ew. Brother, she's DTing those things. What is that? Why are you sticking the whole thing in your mouth like that? It looks weird. Oh my God. Why are you chewing it like... What is wrong with... Are you sucking the stuff? Okay, what is that? Thai tea with coconut milk. Have you moved all day? Water, finally. Finally some water. Rice, okay. You don't need it. You've done 50 nothing ups all day. Curry, okay. What else do we got here? God, that hair looks like you fell into some grease and oil. Ew. What was that? Why are you eating... What I don't get is why they eat so much and do absolutely nothing. You've done nothing all day. You've done a whole lot of nothing all day, but yet you need to eat that much. This is the problem we have in America right now. It's just overconsumption, bro. Overconsumption. People eat too much. People do a whole lot of nothing, doing the nothing ups. I just don't understand it, bro. It's ridiculous to me that these women think they need to eat 1,000 calories for breakfast and then do nothing all day and then eat another 1,000 calories. Like eating 5,000 to 6,000 calories a day when you really don't need that much. It's truly sad. What is this? Jennifer Welch, we have to go after these MAGA men. One example would be Jesse Waters. This man talks incessantly about masculinity, and that's a part of fascism, propelling this form of toxic... What the fart?
We have to go after these MAGA men. One example would be Jesse Waters. Mm-hmm. This man talks incessantly about masculinity. Joe Biden is...
Who would have thought an ugly, witch-faced woman would be mad that a man talks about masculinity? Shots fired! Shocker.
Not masculine because he sucks on soup. What kind of man sucks on a straw? He goes on and on and on so much about the idealized man, and that's a part of fascism.
Bruh, I think he's right about that. You drink soup through a straw, something's wrong with you.
Propelling this form of toxic masculinity. Why are you so obsessed with men, Jesse Waters? What's all that about? Mm-hmm.
Because men understand that other men need to hold each other accountable. That's why. Gotcha, bitch. This is the thing that I don't think any woman will ever understand, is that men understand we have to check each other. We have to check these behaviors. We have to keep each other in line. Women, you do no self-regulation. Women don't hold each other accountable like men do. Men will say, hey, bro, you need to calm it down. You need to chill it out. Here's what you need to do. And if you don't move accordingly, we're going to hand it to you. That's what men do. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Women don't do that. Women tell each other comfortable lies where men tell each other uncomfortable truths. Women just look for an echo chamber of delusion. So everybody's like, yeah, we're just so happy. Yay, yeah. It's just all of us. We're all fat and happy. Yeah. Men don't do that. Men call each other out. It's a thing that men do, like women don't do that ever. And it's sad. It really is sad. It really is sad, because who's supposed to teach the women in society? It's supposed to be the women. Like if you went to a tribe in Africa, let's just use that as an example, something primal, tribe in Africa. The men teach the boys how to be men, and the women teach the girls how to be women. It's not the other way around. Men don't teach the women how to be, or girls how to be women, and the women don't teach the boys how to be men. It's not a thing. They go out with the boys go out with the men and hunt. The girls stay with the women at the tribe and learn how to cook and take care of the house. So it's just what it is. That's how we've done it for ages. I don't know why we're trying to switch things up now. Are guys really not approaching you?
Are you guys single?
Yes, sadly.
So you are meeting guys at bars and clubs, and they are coming up and talking to you?
No. Guys do not come up to me. I don't know who's teaching y'all. But...
Nah, it's always the shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. I don't know who's teaching you guys. I don't know who's... Why don't you just stop having RBF and expecting... Here's the thing. You can't expect equality and do nothing. Okay? You ask for equality. That kind of eliminates chivalry right there. So start approaching men.
That part. Would you prefer...
Yeah, that part. Shut up.
That guys walked up to you?
Yes, but like, it depends. It's gotta be a good line. It's gotta be a good line. Yeah. Really strong line.
I think a guy walking up to you talking about, hi, how are you? My name is Joe. Yeah. What's good? Is a good line.
Yes.
Like, what's good?
Is a good line, baby girl. There's probably a lot of guys barking up their tree, but they're putting them all in the friend zone because of hoflation. And it's the Chad effect, right? They feel like they're actually eligible for Chad, but when Brad comes up, he's not good enough.
Good. Yeah. So what's your name?
If they notice that you're interested, like if we're making eye contact across the room or something, if a random guy just comes up to you out of nowhere and you weren't like giving him the signs that like you wanted him to, like that can be.
Yep. See, there it is. There it is. There it is. There it is. You got to be the guy that's getting the double takes, right? That you got to be Chad. Essentially, it's like, well, if he can recognize the signals that I'm giving him, and then he approaches me, then I'll heed his advances. But baby girl, if he's good enough for you, he's good enough for a few. Shibit and I should have bought a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. I'm getting my lip filler dissolved, so my lips will be a bit swollen, but I'll still come to the pub. I can just wear a mask. The pictures I see right. Let's see what we got here. Okay, what do we got? Oh my God, she did not make it to the pub. Oh, you look like a Muppet. Shots fired. Oh, you look like you're about to bite the end of a bait. She looks like a catfish, brother. What's that? Oh my God. She was taken to the hospital. And oh my, it looks like 1,000 bees stung your face up. Good Lord, allergic reaction much? Oof, that'll humble pie you hard. She made it to the pub the next day. Yeah, make sure you go to the pub the next day. Good Lord. How about this? Don't get lip fillers. How about that? Love the skin you're in. God gave you the body that you're in. Maximize it as much as you can. Okay? That's all you got to do. Feminists think this is some own. What? Okay, Brian, I don't know what that is. But doesn't it point more towards women's sexism and men's lack of... Good Lord, Brian, that title, I don't even know. So let's see what this clip's about.
Excuse me, would you live on a planet with just women?
Yes.
Excuse me, would you live on a planet with just women?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Would you live on a planet with just women?
Yeah.
Would you live on a planet with just women?
Yes, I would.
Would you live on a planet with just men?
Nah, I don't think I can do that.
Would you live on a planet with just men?
No.
Would you live on a planet with just men?
That seems like horrible, honestly. Women are like a blessing from God.
That's the difference, man. That's the difference. Men haven't changed. It's the women that have changed. Women think they don't need men. They're too good for men. The world will be better without men. But who's going to be doing the plumbing? Who's going to be doing the truck driving? How are your lights going to be on? How's your phone going to work? How's the AC going to work? What's going to happen when something happens at your house that you don't want to do this dirty? You're going to call, guess what? A dude. You're calling a guy. It's just crazy to me that these women don't realize that. It's absolutely wild to me that women don't realize this stuff. And yeah, it's sad. It's sad, man. It really is. Here's a perfect example right here of women will sacrifice their families for their happiness, whereas men will sacrifice their happiness for their families. I kicked my mentally ill 9-year-old out of my house because she was too hard to handle.
3 years ago, I kicked my mentally ill 9-year-old out of my household for the safety and well-being of me as well as her siblings. Things that she would do that would put everyone in harm's way. One of the major things that she would do is if she was in the back seat and she was irritated or, you said something to her that she didn't like, or sometimes it was just random, she would get behind my seat and she would cover my eyes while I'm driving down the road. And I'm having to fight her to get her off of me. And that is super dangerous. She would attack her siblings unprovoked. One time she got in trouble and she went and flipped her 3-month-old brother out of his swing into the floor. She took the dog kennel. We had a little Shih Tzu named Bella, and she took the dog kennel that this little puppy was in, and she threw it across her room. She threw a candle at the back of her brother's head, and he had to get stitches. She hit one of her sisters in the head in the eye with a baseball bat because she was beefing with somebody else and for whatever reason took it out on her sister. I have custody of my 8-year-old niece, and one day she was sleeping on the couch and my daughter walked by her and just smacked her in the face with a shoe because she was in trouble. I can go on and on and on.
Okay, that's wild. That is wild. Well, let's see what the comments say, though. Let's see what the comments have to say. Comments. I kicked out my mentally ill. Okay, let's see here. Well, unfortunately, we have a few little help for people who are mentally ill. I don't know about this situation, but I do think that there are times it is valid to send your kid out of the house if they're abusing siblings and animals. Then I made this video to tell everyone on the internet. Family first, base move. This is literally her own fault. I have an autistic son that would literally throw big chunks of wood at me when he was 3. He soon learned that was not tolerated in the slightest. Now we have almost zero problems apart from the odd teen angst. This woman should be ashamed. A lot of bad behavior comes from parents not giving these children enough attention or them being molested by a family member and not knowing how to express themselves. So who's in the wrong for throwing away a 9-year-old that doesn't know any better than a 9-year-old for not having a safe space to feel? Think about that. I am not willing to judge this mother. Her daughter sounds like a psychopath, literally like the part of her brain that should make her capable of emotional regulation. And empathy is either damaged or never properly formed. So somebody says she is a bad mother, full stop. What do you guys think, chat? What do you guys think? I made the comment of women sacrifice their happiness for their families, whereas a man sacrifices his, a woman will sacrifice her family for her happiness, and a man sacrifices his happiness for his family. I made that just off of rip of just seeing that. So somebody said this kid sounds like a normal kid. That kid needs to be institutionalized. Obviously, there are two sides to every story. Sounds like she had a child that had a mental illness. She's not wrong. Children are literally killing their parents and each other at an alarming rate. I see a story on the news a few times a week. This chick is a textbook narcissist. I mean, I think there should have been a little bit of TLC that have gone into it, maybe gone to a little bit of therapy, maybe some coaching classes to see if there was anything. But also, you know, I feel bad for the kid because now if they're cognitive enough to know, they know now that their mom has abandoned them. It's hard to have children like that. And it really is. It's hard to have children like that. And, you know, this would not be something that's easy. This would not be something that's easy. But, you know, not everything's easy. Some things are really, really tough. And so one of those things is being a parent. So, you know, it's not easy. But I feel bad for the kid. I really do feel bad for the kid because it's like, you know, this kid didn't ask for this, and now they know they're getting abandoned by their mom, and they're somewhere with a bunch of strangers. Ain't that right, Lokes? You want a treat? I got you, big dog. You guys like the new screens where you can see him all the time? You guys like that? Loki, free, sit, shake, oh boy, free, go to your place. So it's truly sad. It's truly sad. She was 100% a boss babe, waiting for 6 foot and $150K a year throughout her 20s. Let's see what we got here. I'm 37, and honestly, it's so hard being alone. Every night, I wonder why men don't even notice me or take the first step. Don't I deserve at least a little attention? Am I not attractive?
I can't sleep. I can't drink anything without pain. I can't sleep. I can't.
We don't feel bad. You had all the time in the world, and you blew it. You blew it.
Gotcha, bitch.
Like I always say, older women are living the reality that younger men have always had to be in. They're living in that reality. A man from 18 to 24 is invisible to pretty much every woman, unless you're a 6'9" Chad, 6'5" Chad. Women that are 30 and up are invisible to men. It's just what it is. Just like when you were 18 to 24, ladies, you had pick the litter. You could be on PJs, flights, you could go to Miami, you could be on a yacht, dinners paid for, clothes paid for, shoes paid for, everything paid for. But now you're 30 and you think that you don't have a shelf life. Newsflash, you do.
Gotcha, bitch.
I don't make the rules, I just enforce them there, chat. But Loki, did you have a good time? But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It was good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace.